I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't know where this disrespect is coming from. I don't know where this disrespect is coming from. These ESPN analysts, all these people disrespecting Jalen Hurts. For what reason? For what reason? The man's a second round pick. Today is brought to you by the Howie the Clown. Get your Howie the Clown podcast. I'm sorry, Howie the Clown shirt. I can't talk right now. I'm so angry. We're going to discuss this. Hopefully, people can see me. Hopefully, people can see me. Mike 1 2. Mike 1 2. Y'all hear me? Hold up. Mike 1 2. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let's see. Let's go. Yo. All right. Let's get rid of the. Let's get rid of this. Put this on, bro. Let's do it. You can hear me? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me. Let me know. All right, y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me because I just put a different pair of headphones on. Let's see. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about Jalen Hurts. I was originally supposed to be with Philly Foothills today. It didn't happen. He had some family issues, but that doesn't mean I can't go live. Like I said, I'm trying to get people on. So, yeah, but that's not why I'm here. You know, we got one person watching. Hopefully we get more people in. I'm going to spread the word. What's up? Kevin Lopez, what's good? Not much, man. Just chilling, having a good time of my life. And Jalen Hurts disrespect continues. Jalen Hurts disrespect continues. Two people watching. I don't know where this disrespect to Jalen Hurts is coming from. I don't. A reporter from Philly, I don't even want to say his name because it's disgraceful, said that if the Eagles had to redo it, they wouldn't have taken Jalen Hurts. We don't know that because Carson Wentz wasn't happy. He wasn't playing that good. And I think the Eagles took him because they saw something in him. I don't think Howie Roseman, as much as I give Howie Roseman so much, criticism, I think Jeffrey Lurie is the one who took Jalen Hurts. Because Carson Wentz wasn't the same. And I don't understand the lack of disrespect to Jalen Hurts. He's a second-round pick. He really should have been a first-rounder. If you want to be technical, let's be technical because who was the quarterbacks that went in that was first-rounders? Except, obviously, the Chargers quarterback who they drafted was a very good quarterback. But Tua hasn't proved in nothing. But yet they don't give him disrespect. If they did, I don't see it. Lamar Jackson is 0-2 in the playoffs. He is won one playoff game and hasn't made past far. Okay, he won one playoff game. His defense literally carries him. Yet Dan Orlovsky and ESPN and all these clowns who don't know nothing about football won't say anything. But I will. Lamar Jackson won his MVP because if he can run. Teams were not ready and they did not prepare for him running. But what happened when they did? See, y'all want to tell me, because I got people who are Baltimore Ravens fans who keep on telling me, Lamar Jackson fans keep on telling me, well, Lamar Jackson won MVP because he's throwing. Where did he throw? Every time I see the guy play, he runs. He has an RPO, and they run the football. If you stop the running game, Lamar Jackson is cooked. That's how the Titans and the Bills were able to stop Lamar Jackson. He can't throw more than 40 yards. I don't care what nobody says. He's not an elite quarterback. He's an average quarterback, but he's not Michael Vick. Like everybody wants to compare him to Michael Vick. Don't ever compare Lamar Jackson to Michael Vick. Because Michael Vick in his rookie year was able to throw and he was able to run. Lamar Jackson only could do one thing: run the football. The Philadelphia Eagles have a quarterback. To me, he's like a Patrick Mahomes type quarterback. Not saying he will be, not saying he's going to be, but I'm saying what I'm seeing on the field is he's able to throw. If Jalen Hurts, like I keep on saying, was on the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, the Washington football team, the Green Bay Packers, hell, the Buffalo, like any team, they'd be hyping him up, saying he is going to do great things. Same with Devontae Smith, because Devontae Smith, before he came to the Eagles, was ranked the #1 receiver in that draft. Everybody was saying he was going to be the best. But since he's on the Eagles, now everybody's saying he's worried about his weight. His weight had nothing to do with him why he won the Heisman winning trophy. You weren't saying that when Devontae Smith was burning people alive, especially corners that are coming out next year who was getting cooked by Devontae Smith. Because he's on the Eagles, he's selling garbage. He's not ready. Receivers who are literally second rounder, third rounders are literally ranked above him. Someone give me a reason and how you can sit there and say Amon, whatever his name is, Brown, is better than Devontae Smith. The dude won a Heisman winning trophy. He was literally cooking players, destroying everybody in the SEC. The corners that you're seeing in the NFL were playing against Devontae Smith and playing against players like Devontae Smith in Alabama, in Clemson. Yet Jalen Hurts, who's an Alabama quarterback, came back when everybody was down him versus the championship in Alabama and won the Alabama championship when Tua went down. Now, I've criticized Jalen Hurts before when he first came because I didn't like the pick. But I don't hate the player, and I don't wish that player to be bad. And all these reporters are going to eat their words. Because I think this team is to me, a very sneaky team that could punch you in the mouth. The Cowboys have been literally trash. What is this time going to do than the last 4 to 5, 6 times that they played? Why are they the #1 to win the division? They were supposed to win the division in 2019. They were supposed to, win the Super Bowl in 2018, 17, 18, 2015, 14, 13, 12. Do you want me to keep on going? They haven't made the NFC Championship since 1998. Yet, they're literally ranked as the #1 to win the division. They got no secondary. As much as I talk about their secondary is twice as worse as ours. Because they don't got a big play Slay to lock down one side. They got a second-year trash bin cornerback who was drafted in the second round because Devontae Smith, the one we drafted, and Jamar Chase, who went to the Bengals, cooked. I'm sorry, not Devontae Smith, because he was on their team. Sorry. Jamar Chase cooked Trevon Diggs to drop him in the first round. So he was an early second-round pick. But Devontae Smith has been killing cornerbacks like they're nothing. And because he's small, and it has nothing to do with his weight, because he's playing with Jalen Hurts, who, if he went to the Giants, they'd be hyping him up. But since he's with this team, he's trash. Nick Sirianni, a reporter comes out, if you saw my video, Nick, what's his name? Nick Smith, whatever his name is, the reporter who I have no clue who he is, called Nick Sirianni, basically called him, said he was going to be manhandled like a puppet by Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. That he's a puppet. And that'd be fine if he was a puppet, but I don't think Howie Roseman would be drafting the number one receiver in Devontae Smith if it was for Nick Sirianni. Matter of fact, I don't think it would be Howie Roseman drafting to help Jalen Hurts. Because Doug Peterson was exactly a puppet. And that's why you didn't see receivers. Nick Sirianni is getting disrespected. His first press conference, people are already saying he was a wrong decision. Deuce Staley, a running back who is a entitled prick, literally did not like Miles Sanders. Let's be real. If Deuce Staley was our head coach, Miles Sanders would not be on his team. Why do I say this? Because Deuce Staley did not like Miles Sanders. There's a reason why he didn't run the football with Sanders. He didn't like the fact he was fumbling. He didn't. Deuce Staley comes from old school football. These new school running backs are different than the old school running backs. Why do you think Boston Scott was in the game? A lot more than Miles Sanders. Why do you think Miles Sanders was on certain plays? Why do you think they weren't running the football enough? Because Deuce Staley did not like Miles Sanders. Now, Miles Sanders loved Deuce Staley, but Deuce Staley would have been a terrible coach for the Eagles if we hired him. He would have been horrible. Nick Sirianni was the best coach for that position. Number one, because we didn't know what was up with Carson Wentz at that time. He was originally for Carson Wentz, but he also knew how to use Jalen Hurts. Doug Peterson still don't know his role. Running his mouth. Who doesn't know the word being fired? Brought up, well, we didn't draft Jalen Hurts for Carson Wentz. Then what the hell did you draft him for? Yeah, you did. You don't draft a second-round quarterback if you're not going to replace the quarterback that you have on the roster. It was time for Carson to go. He wasn't seeing the field. He wasn't the same. And he didn't want to be here. And if Jalen Hurts was a first-round pick, like a Tua, they wouldn't be disrespecting him. They bring up his stats in college. But they don't bring the fact that this dude is a Heisman winning trophy quarterback. Everybody rallies around him. Steven Nelson wants to come to Philly because of the culture and Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts can get people to rally around him. Not only does it make him dangerous because he can use his damn legs, and unlike Lamar Jackson, who can't throw, who threw a pick six in double coverage, we won't talk about that one. Jalen Hurts can throw the deep ball. Jalen Hurts, people say he did bad in Dallas. Did you watch that game? Because last year, Jalen Hurts was throwing touchdown passes. That defense was giving up points. Just like the Cowboys secondary was giving up points also. But yet, Jalen Hurts, the second-year quarterback, every time there's a second-year quarterback, they do damage. And I don't think Dak is better than Jalen Hurts. I don't believe Dak is anywhere near Jalen Hurts' level. Because Dak Prescott needs everything around him. Why do you think they got Amari Cooper? Matter of fact, why do you think they drafted CeeDee Lamb? Why do you think they got Micah Parsons? Because he needs everything around him. If he goes to another team, he would stink. I'm sorry, he will. Jalen Hurts was literally drafted in the second round to replace Carson Wentz. You know, and I know that was the deal. Carson Wentz did not want to be here, and there was more speculation that Carson Wentz wanted out. He was going to ask for a trade anyway. He didn't want to be there. Same with Zach Ertz, the crybaby tight end, who we're going to talk about later. But this team is very disrespected by this media. Maurice Jones-Drew, let's talk about him. Wasn't that a great of a running back? Had some Pro Bowl years, but literally was a number 2 running back. Who was behind him, I think? What was it? Like, where did these people get, like, just because you're a football player, don't mean you're an expert. I am not surprised that they put Miles Sanders at number 27, and here's why. Because they hate us. If Miles Sanders was on the Bills, if Miles Sanders was on the Giants, they'd be hyping him up. If Miles Sanders was on the Chiefs, if Miles Sanders was on the Dallas Cowboys, if Miles Sanders was on the Pittsburgh Steelers, they'd be naming him the best running back in that division. Believe that. Saquon Barkley is technically the best running back. What has he done? What has he done? What has he done? Why is it that all these other running backs are above Miles Sanders? A rookie running back from the Chiefs is above Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders, in his rookie year, was basically putting this team on his back, along with Carson. Miles Sanders was the only weapon pretty much he had. Catching the balls because the receivers stunk at the time. But now when you have Devontae Smith, it's going to get a little difficult because how are you going to stop Devontae Smith when he's literally known for catching everything? The number 1 receiver that's literally can run routes like a poetry in motion, like a Picasso painting. When you paint the brush, it's motion. And that's what Devontae Smith routes are. If he gets used to running routes in the NFL, you better watch out. Because I'm going to be real with you, Jamar Chase ain't going to do anything in Cincinnati. You want me to tell you why? Because Joe Burrow will not be ready by week 3. His offensive line will not keep him up. He will be another Ryan Tannehill. I don't wish him on injuries, but that offensive line for Cincinnati is not good. I would have taken Penei Sewell, but it worked for the best. But how are the Eagles disrespected? And you know what? I love when we're disrespected because when we're disrespected, we play our best. When we're respected, we play like crap. When you have a coach like Doug Pearson who does not know to shut the hell up and is known to blow games and do stupid stuff, I don't care about him winning the Super Bowl. First of all, it was Frank Wright who really won it. Because Frank Wright designed the place for Doug. Frank Wright was the reason why Carson in 2017 was successful. Not Doug. Doug was perfect for Nick Foles because Doug was a quarterback who was a backup. Nick Sirianni is a guy who knows how to use his players in advantage. He knows how to use his players. He knows how to use them at their best. And that is something Doug, the doorknob dummy, did not know how to use. Like getting Jalen Hurts out of the pocket. He used him as Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts was not Lamar Jackson. You should be able to use him as a quarterback. He used him as a Lamar Jackson. He let him use his feet. And that's fine. But he's also a guy who could throw. Lamar Jackson can't throw. When people say Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts the same thing, I get mad. Because Lamar Jackson would stink in Philly. If the Eagles drafted Lamar Jackson, he would have been booed. He would have been booed. Because that shit that you would have done, you would have been destroyed worse than Carson. Lamar Jackson would have been asking for a trade. May have been cut. Why do you think RG3 didn't last in the NFL? It had nothing to do with it being the quarterback. Because he didn't know how to transition from a pocket quarterback. He didn't know how to use his... He didn't know how to use... He didn't know how to be a quarterback when it came to throwing from the pocket. You have to be able to do both. You can be dangerous with your feet, but if you're not able to throw from the pocket, you'll end up like Tim Tebow. You'll end up like Braxton Miller. You'll end up like Lamar Jackson. If I'm the Ravens, I would trade Lamar Jackson and get a quarterback because they're not far from a championship. Jalen Hurts can do both. Watching him in Oklahoma, I figured, all right, let me see what he can do. The dude looked so impressive. He was literally able to throw without running. They didn't run him that much. And he was throwing touchdown passes. Then I go watch his tape. Same thing. He was recognizing the plays. And Carson Wentz wasn't. He relied on players getting open, and that's good. But Carson Wentz doesn't know how to rally his troops. And people say he did in 2017 because he didn't build on it. You have to be building relationships. He didn't know how to build around it. He thought there's nothing wrong with religion. But some players are not always can rely on that. It's the mentality. It's the toughness. And Jalen Hurts has that. That's how you win championships. With a quarterback who could rally around their troops and troops rallies around their quarterback. That's why Patrick Mahomes was allowed to win the Super Bowl. That's why Tom Brady is winning Super Bowl because he can rally his troops. Russell Wilson was winning Super Bowl because he can rally his troops. Aaron Rodgers was rallying his troops. They love him. Carson Wentz couldn't. In 2017, he was starting to, but then he thought he was too good not to get better. He thought he knew everything. And it backfired on him. Also, when you have a quarterback who came off an ACL and you are afraid of him getting hurt, like Doug Peterson was, you put fear into him. So he wouldn't take chances anymore. And Doug Peterson needs to shut the heck up. I don't care about him winning the Super Bowl because he only got part of that credit. I'm sorry, Frank Wright got part of the credit. Doug Peterson should thank Frank Wright because he stunk when he left. He made a divisional round because of the defense. The defense was carrying Nick Foles. They were bailing Nick Foles out. And they were bailing Doug Peterson out. Time after time, players were bailing Doug out. So I'm happy with Nick Sirianni being my coach. Because not only can he teach football, he knows what he's talking about. He's not a blabbering idiot like Doug is, where he thinks he knows everything, but he doesn't. Now, he might be smart outside of football. I don't know. But what I saw on the field was he didn't know how to adjust. Instead of trying something different, he kept on doing the same things. Nick Sirianni, watching him mic'd up, he believes in the receivers not dropping footballs, which is going to be so interesting to watch J.J. Arcega-Whiteside catch footballs. Because one time he drops that football, he will be benched. Jalen Hurts got a good coaching staff around him. Jalen Hurts has players that want to play for him. Jalen Hurts has everything around him to be successful. But it's up to him. And I think he will. You don't hear Jalen Hurts talk about what I'm going to do. No, he's proven it on the field. He's going to prove it on Sundays. You don't think Jalen Hurts is hearing what everybody's saying? Don't you think that players hear people what they say? Players lie when they say they don't hear what's going on. They feed into that. Just like Carson feed into that. Don't sit there and say he didn't feed into that, because if he didn't feed into that, then he would probably be still here. He fed into that drama. And he fed into it big time. The fans got to him. And it got onto his skin. There's only so much that you can do before it's enough is enough. You have to have that mentality in Philly. You either don't or you have it. McNabb, perfect example. Always thought he was the best. He was a good quarterback, but he could have gotten better. But he relied on the coaching. And that's fine when you rely on coaching, but you have to rely on trying to learn and get better as a quarterback. And McNabb didn't have that. McNabb was so jealous of T.O. Why was that? Because T.O. believed in work ethic. And he was able to brace the Philly. And McNabb didn't like that. McNabb was a diva. There was no question about it. Don't sit there and say he was a diva. He didn't like everybody getting attention except him. It was all about him. Even in the Super Bowl, he didn't throw it to T.O. because it would have put a spotlight on T.O. There's some quarterbacks who can't succeed in Philly. Philly's a tough place to play. McNabb couldn't handle it. McNabb won championships because of that defense. People say, oh, he didn't have enough weapons. They weren't the greatest. They weren't Odell Beckham Jr., but they were better than a lot of people give him credit for. Tom Brady didn't have the best weapons. Tom Brady had Randy Moss, but he also knew how, as much as I hate Tom Brady, because I hate him, I can't stand Tom Brady. So when I'm talking, I'm trying not to vomit. Deion Branch wasn't a first-round pick, but he was able to be his receiver. Troy Brown was not a first-round pick. He was able to be his receiver. You don't need the best receivers to be good. Sometimes you need chemistry. And McNabb didn't know how to use his play. He didn't know how to build chemistry. It was all about him. And people could disagree with me. I watched McNabb. I'm 21 in July. McNabb did not know how to be a leader. And that's why Carson Wentz didn't succeed. Jalen Hurts will be better than both. Because he knows how to rally He's not selfish. And he also knows how to, he wants to get better. And that's what Carson and McNabb didn't have. McNabb always thought he was the best one. He thought he could do no wrong. He didn't want to get better. He thought he already had it. He didn't want to build chemistry. And he was jealous of T.O. because T.O. was bracing Philly, and Philly saw what McNabb was. At first, he was a great football player, a great quarterback, but then he started getting into ego. And once you have that, if you're not able to control it, you start becoming a diva. And McNabb was a diva. He still is. You think he's praising Jalen Hurts because he likes Jalen Hurts? No. He wants attention. Because Philly doesn't care about McNabb that much. And he feels some type of way. McNabb is always going to be remembered for not winning that Super Bowl. And part of it was his fault. The defense, I watched that game so many times. He was throwing nothing but bad throws. And when you're drunk before a Super Bowl, you not only hurt your team, you hurt your legacy. And you hurt the fans. And Jalen Hurts has that. He has that it factor that Carson and McNabb didn't have. There's only some types of quarterbacks that have that. You have to be willing to try to get better. And it's not enough to sit there and say you will. You have to show it. And McNabb and Carson didn't have that. They relied on the coaching, and that's fine. But if you are not trying to do it on your own, then it's nothing. Then coaching don't mean nothing. Because if you're not trying to build chemistry, if you're too much of a knucklehead in the media, and you think you're better than everyone else, you become the worst nightmare of you become the worst nightmare, not everyone else. Now, there were some things at McNabb that wasn't his fault. Andy Reid's play calling was terrible sometimes. But the dude had the number one defense. And don't sit there and say that that defense was not good, because that defense was the reason why McNabb was winning, that was in the Super Bowl. You don't win it without Brian Dawkins. You don't win it with Jeremiah Trotter. You don't win without Jim Johnson. And you don't win without those cornerbacks. As much as people want to give him flack, Little Shepard was pretty good cornerback at that time. So much of Sean Brown. They had a good defense. And McNabb was bailed out every time by that defense. And McNabb was able to have a good offensive line. John Runyon. Trey Thomas, a Hall of Famer, should be in the NFL Hall of Fame. Nick Fairley. That offensive line was built to protect McNabb. Now, McNabb didn't have the greatest receivers. Neither did Carson. Carson, to me, had worse receivers. I'd take McNabb receivers any day over what we saw the last 2 years. Facts. Yeah, I watch Freddie Mitchell. Yeah, I watch Greg Lewis. Yeah, they're not the greatest. But they were better than when Nelson Aguilar was, and they were better than Matt Collins. They were better than when Carson had, since Carson was drafted. As much as I don't want to talk about Carson, because we're done with that after that. It's Jalen Hurts season. But I'm trying to make a point. Since Carson Wentz, since we want to talk about McNabb, because a lot of people say McNabb didn't have weapons. Carson Wentz had Bryce Treggs, trash. Bryce Treggs, Paul Turner. Do you remember that? Nelson Aguilar, Jordan Matthews, a bum. I was happy when he went to the Bills. I was happy. A lot of Eagle fans wasn't, but I was happy when he went to the Bills. He had so much crappy receivers. Green Beckham. Remember that one? We traded Dennis Kelly, a really good offensive guard, to the Tennessee Titans for Green Beckham. Matt Collins, Gibson. You want me to keep going? Now, McNabb had bad receivers, no question about it. I'm not saying they were bad, but they weren't worse than Carson. They were a lot better than Carson's receivers. Now, Carson Wentz had started getting better receivers, but then he started getting used to not having anything. And once a quarterback is afraid because his offensive line was trash last year. Jalen Hurts' offensive line was trash last year. Jason Peterson had never been signed. Remember when I made that video? A lot of people bashing me. How? Why would you not want to bring Jason Peters back? You're a fake Eagle fan. The dude was 39 years old. Hasn't been a Pro Bowl since 2016. He should have never came back. That was Howie Roseman's fault for not bringing Jason Peters back, especially when he wanted to get paid all that money. He should have been cut. You want to be real. Then the offensive line started getting banged up. And by then, Carson Wentz was done. He was mentally defeated. Philly fans were destroying him. And you know what? He deserved to get destroyed. When you're playing like crap and you're throwing nothing but garbage, like he pissed me off. He pissed me off. I wanted him benched. I wanted Jalen Hurts to be the quarterback. That season, I started seeing what everyone was seeing. Because he was so used to having bad receivers, and his offensive line was completely garbage, who McNabb should have been thankful that he didn't have to deal with. Since we want to be technical, let's be technical. For all these McNabb supporters, McNabb lucky he didn't have a bum offensive line that was crashing on him every time he stepped back. Because he would have been done. He had a stable offensive line. He had a good defense. Some quarterbacks wish they had. But Jalen Hurts has that it factor. He doesn't believe he's the best. He goes and shows it. You don't hear them talk about they're the best. Jalen Hurts don't talk that much. I call him the silent quarterback assassin. The Oklahoma division killer. That will be his name by this year. Jalen Hurts has that it factor. McNabb and Carson didn't have that. They believed they were already good, so they didn't think they needed to get better. And they believed that everybody should rally around them while they play like crap. And they believed what they were doing was right. And some players didn't rally around Carson. And it showed. I started seeing it when Jalen Hurts came on that field. At first, I didn't believe it, but then I started seeing it. Same with McNabb. McNabb couldn't rally around some players. Some players hate him. It wasn't just T.O. Some players despise McNabb because he didn't show what a leader was. He always thought he was the greatest. And he was a diva off the field. Sometimes you just shut up. The fact that he didn't want to stick up for his number one receiver, T.O., which made T.O. upset. And I don't blame him. Now, T.O. was a spoiled brat too. He was starting to become a locker room problem. But McNabb had a chance to support his teammate. And unlike that, he treated him like he was nothing. And that's when I lost respect for McNabb. And that's why I don't think McNabb ever recovered after that. Because if you're jealous of a receiver, then you're not going to survive in Philly. And McNabb still feels that type of way. They were booing him on draft day. Now, grant you, Ricky Williams ended up being for nothing. Eagle fans were emotional. And McNabb felt some type of way during that draft. He was booed on stadium. That's a big blow right there. Your whole fan base, who you have to prove, boos you. And he felt jealous. He's not praising Jalen Hurts because he likes him. He praising Jalen Hurts because he wants the Eagles fans to not forget him. And too bad they did. Because they go back to, what have you done for me? Yeah, he won NFC championships, but he never, ever leveled up his playing style. And people could disagree with me. I watched McNabb. I've been an Eagle fan since I was 3 years old. I cried during the Super Bowl 39. I still got that Super Bowl hat. And if you don't believe me, let me show you, because I'm... I got that Super Bowl hat still, and it still hurts me to this day. Okay? Let me show you. I got old Eagles hats. I got everything, man. Where is it at? Because I will never forget that Super Bowl. Trust me, I cried all through it. Still hurts me. And no one else is a football fan in my family. I'm the only one. Only one that's a football fan. Okay? So, for people who want to come out, because I know there's a lot of people sit there and say, well, you just became an Eagle fan. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Because I've been an Eagle fan for a long time. I really don't have to prove to you nothing, really. To be honest, I really don't. But I feel like I have to. I don't know if you can see this. But can you see that? And no, they're not on. I didn't get it from eBay. They don't make those anymore. Just like they don't make the quarters that I used to collect. The quarters that I used to collect. They don't make those anymore. Used to collect them all the time. You remember those little tiny quarters that were in the 2000s? Like those little tiny quarters that you would just collect? I used to have all of them. Used to have all of them. Used to have a whole thing where I used to collect them. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm getting off topic. But you know what? I'm sick and tired of people on IG telling me I'm a fake Eagle fan because I don't agree with a lot of Eagle fans. And you're right, I don't. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Since day one, I never agree with a lot of Eagle fans. And I don't take anything back. So that's just my thoughts. But let's get into these comments. Then I'll talk about more. Yeah, great. Jalen Hurts is better. He is better than Dak Prescott. Listen, man. Dak Prescott is going to be running for his life. That offensive line is not as good as people think it is. That offensive line is banged up. They're getting too old. And they didn't address it at all. Daniel Jones is going to be benched. I'm telling you right now, Jalen Jones will not be a Giant next year. I hope he is. I hope the Giants sign him to a big deal. I hope he gets paid so much. But they won't pay him next year. He will be traded. Or he will be cut. Because what's going to happen is they're just going to expose him more. He is. Listen, Mr. Lockett, bro. Dak Prescott has not beaten a team over 500. And I don't care what no Cowboy fans said. They bring up the Saints game. But too bad they don't bring up the fact that Michael Thomas did not play in that game. They also, I believe, did they have, correct me if I'm wrong, but did they have Marshawn Lattimore in that game? In Dallas. They didn't have Michael Thomas. they didn't have some of the core players that they usually have. Since they want to talk about excuses and they want to bring up what they want to talk about, they didn't have Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas was not in that game. Drew Brees was playing, you're right. But they didn't have, I believe, Marshawn Lattimore, I think was absent. They didn't have Michael Thomas. If Michael Thomas was in that game, they would have won. But let me ask the Dallas Cowboy fans something. Where did you go that year? Where did you go? Oh, wait, you got beat by the Rams. A 3-0 disaster in the Super Bowl. Rams team. So, why are you bringing this up? Dak Prescott literally had to beg Jerry Jones to draft Amari Cooper. That's the only reason why they beat the Saints. Because Amari Cooper was literally traded during that game versus the Saints. Literally, the trade went through that day. I was at school. I knew what was going on. Trust me, I had Cowboy fans talk all that. And if you go back to my old videos, I don't know if you can find them. But I was in school. I used to wear my uniform and all that stuff. That year, Amari Cooper was traded to the Cowboys, a first-round pick. Because Dak could not win with his receivers. They had to get him a number one. Because he couldn't, and he couldn't deal with it. He was throwing nothing but trash picks and fumbling and getting sacked. But we won't talk about that one. Remember, Dak is a great quarterback. Let's see what Jalen Hurts does with Devontae Smith. Matter of fact, let's see what Jalen Hurts does that we want to talk about Dak does. Because I guarantee Jalen Hurts will go further than Dak. Put Jalen Hurts on the Cowboys right now. And you will put any quarterback on the Dallas Cowboys and give them the exact same thing that Dak had. And give them the exact same thing Tony Romo had. And I guarantee to go further than what those two have been producing. Now put Dak on another team. Put Dak with the Browns. These Browns, not the old trash Browns. I'm talking about the new Browns. He struggled. You think Dak is that good? Okay. I mean, I can't convince you, but I know what Dak is. I don't need to see any more of him. He'll give you some good games, but when the pressure's on him the most, he'll flop. He's not as good as people think he is. But people want to overhype his stats. The dude lost to the Rams. The same Rams team that got beat by the Patriots. And he only scored 3 points. Think about that one. Also, that year, Dak Prescott, during that Eagles game, number one, as much as Cowboy fans don't want to talk about, they robbed us in that game because Malcolm Jenkins recovered that football. But we won't talk about that. Fair and square. Then shut the hell up. Then shut up. Every time you make excuse, I'm going to point that out from now on. Because if you don't want us to make excuses, then stop making excuses for your team. They overpaid Dak because they were scared, and Jerry Jones does not do good with drafting quarterbacks. They got so much caught up in the media, and Jerry Jones flipped. Like, he gave in. Dak don't deserve more the second highs over Mahomes. He's the second quarterback to get paid behind Patrick Mahomes. That's how much he got paid. By being injured, even though it's not his fault. But He wasn't producing any good numbers. Before his injury, he was trash. He barely beat the Falcons. The Falcons literally almost blew them out. Do you remember that one? Or how about the fact they literally had to. Like, the Giants almost beat them. Dak Prescott wasn't doing anything MVP-like. He wasn't leading the MVP in touchdown passes. He wasn't leading in throwing, he wasn't leading in winning percentages at quarterback. He was below average. But you know why they want to talk about him? Because they feel bad for him. Because he got hurt and they feel bad for him. Because if he didn't get hurt, now let's be real, I don't wish Dak injury. But I do wish it on the Cowboys because you were talking crap about my quarterback. And when people say, well, that's just, you're a douchebag for that. Well, you're a douchebag for making fun of my quarterback, too. So when the joke is on you and you like making fun of quarterbacks, remember that one. I don't feel any sorry for y'all. I feel sorry for Dak. I don't feel sorry for the Cowboy fans. I don't feel sorry for y'all. I don't care. Because our quarterback, who's no longer here, you were nothing but talking crap about them. You laugh at them. You bring up Tony Romo that happened since 2015? But let's bring up the fact that you've done it so many times to us. You laughed at Nick Foles when he got hurt during that season where they literally had to bring in Michael Vick. Do you remember that one? Or should I keep on going? Y'all like picking and choosing what you want to talk about. Until I expose y'all, then you want to cry foul. Then you want to sit there and say, I don't know nothing. But you want to talk about what really happened. And too bad that Tony Romo hit. That was just him. That wasn't Jordan Hicks. Jordan Hicks sacked the quarterback, and Tony Romo went down. But I didn't make fun of him. I wasn't on YouTube, but I didn't make fun of him. Just because some Eagle fans do that, don't mean I do it. So don't put us in all that category. I'm not one of those Eagle fans. Matter of fact, I confronted so many Eagle fans at that stadium before. An Eagle fan was talking during the training camp. We had tickets. And I think I made a video. You remember when I was live streaming and I walked into the stadium? I think I have it still. I'm not sure. I have to go back to I think I saved it. But there was I didn't show the part where the guy was talking. And I told him to stop talking. And like a Philly fan, he ran his mouth. And I told him to shut the fuck up and sit down. Me. Because we're not like the rest of the Eagle fans. What you see on television is not us. The media loves to make it, it's just Philly. But they won't go after like Cowboy fans who punches Giant fans. Or Green Bay Packer fans who punches Chicago fans. Or the Packer fans, beating up Steelers fans. Or Pitcher fans throwing beer bottles at the Chief players. Y'all won't bring that up. But you'll bring us as the worst fans. All right, whatever, man. Wentz is in there. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about Wentz. Listen, I don't care about Carson Wentz. I'm an Eagles fan. Not a Wentz fan. Not a Dawkins fan. Like, I love Brian Dawkins. But I'm an Eagles fan. If you're not wearing this, I don't care about you. Carson Wentz made his decision. He didn't want to be here. He chose he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there. There's nothing you could do about it. Listen, we didn't trade Carson Wentz. He wanted out. He didn't want to be here. He flat out said that. Did you listen to his interview? Like, where do people think that we traded Carson Wentz? If we traded Carson Wentz, he would have been in Chicago right now. For Nick Foles. if that's where you wanted to be technical. That was originally the plan. Carson backed out. Remember that one? Carson Wentz was supposed to be a Chicago Bear, and the trade was supposed to go down for us to bring Nick Foles back. And he backed out because he wanted to play with Frank Wright. Do you remember that? So when people said that we traded Carson Wentz, no, we gave him what he wanted. The Bears offered more, I believe. I heard Roquan Smith was in the deal. I don't know if that's true, but you never know. It could have been. But then they backed down and they gave us Nick Foles and Tariq Cohen, and we're like, nah. But that was the original plan. Carson Wentz was going to be a Chicago Bear if the trade went through. If Carson Wentz had no control, he would have been in Windy High City. Windy High City, I think that's what it's called. In a Bears uniform. Playing in Wrigley, like playing in Chicago. If the trade went through. So, I don't know where people say Carson Wentz was traded. No. He wanted to play Indianapolis. We just made it happen. But, fortunately, he played like crap, so his value went down. Just like Zach Ertz's value went down when he played like crap. Facts. Thoughts on Derek Stingley? Don't want him. Don't want him. I think he's the most overrated cornerback next year in that draft. Derek Stingley reminds me so much of Ronald Darby. He's too small. He doesn't have it. I've seen many times. I watched his tape. Because I thought sometimes I was tripping. I went back and I watched his tape. Versus Georgia, his eye awareness of where he's at is terrible. Like during the Florida game, I was watching that too. Many times he was getting beat. That they literally had to give him a little bit more help. He's not a shutdown corner. He's not a shutdown corner. And I don't think he's the number one. I don't think it will be a first rounder next year anyway. Unless he plays outstanding and he puts better tape than what he had last year. Because last year he was terrible. And that previous year he was terrible. Doing that last year he was horrible. Even with Devontae Smith, people say Devontae Smith cooked him. Many times I saw Devontae Smith just fool him. He reminded me so much of Jalen Mills. A double, like quick, like 1-2, bam. He gets beat on double moves. I don't want Derek Stingley. And if that's the Eagles who they're going for, I'm going to be super mad. That's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want Derek Stingley. There's other quarters next year in that draft that are better than Derek Stingley. Derek Stingley does not have that number one shutdown corner mentality. He needs to go somewhere where he is not going to be that number one corner. You know what I'm saying? He needs to go somewhere where it's not going to be harsh because that Philly fan base will get to him. He will not last in Philly. If you want to be real, he will be exposed. The things that he did in college, Philly would boo him the hell out. That's my thoughts. Washington don't know how to use Washington's a horrible fan base. They're a horrible franchise. They have a bit of relevance, and they finally just popped a cherry. Too bad this year they will be back in the basement. And you want me to ask you where Derek Stingley will go to? Washington. Or the Giants. Or the Dallas Cowboys next year. You want to be real? Let's be real. The Eagles will win the division. Oh, yeah, I'm confident we will win the division this year. I don't care what the media says. The media get paid to be a bunch of clowns who don't know football. Don't know football, gets paid to be idiots, make stupid reports. I don't listen to the media, just like I don't listen to 941 WIP or 965. Because they don't know nothing. They're all about stats, and that's not everything. Philly Nessa West just said tomorrow, so I guess we're doing a stream tomorrow, guys. Cool, I'm okay with that. What's up from Minnesota? What's good, man? What's up? What's up, Ryan Rowe? No, I don't want Derek Stingley, man. I don't want Derek Stingley. I watched him and Elliott. I even watched him on TV. I'm a, like I'll watch some college football sometimes. Sometimes I'm not really into it, but I'll watch it and I happily was able to catch a Derek Stingley LSU defense getting destroyed because I heard a lot about Derek Stingley. That's how I knew about Jacoby Stevens because I watched the guy play. Jacoby Stevens is one of my favorite guys. By the way, Jacoby Stevens, I'm telling you right now, is going to be is going to be really good. Like, I think this guy has a lot of upside. I'm a big fan of Jacoby Stevens. The guy has a good attitude, but he's a beast on the field. Dwayne Haskins was never a first round pick. Dwayne Haskins literally had no idea of a quarterback. He doesn't have that. He relied on his arm. He didn't know how to, like, first of all, last year we didn't even have a combine. And we really didn't have any. We were basically limited. Wait, Dwayne Haskins that year they did have a combine. And he stunk. He stunk. That's why he dropped. Because teams saw what he was. And he wasn't a guy that is going to be ready for week one. He was a gamble. And Washington took him. And it backfired on him. Part of it, I think, the Washington football team failed him. Because I don't think they gave him help. They gave him two coaches, and they really didn't give him a chance. Think about it. They traded for Alex Smith when they drafted Dwayne Haskins. They had Alex Smith. They had Alex Smith doing the roster when they had Dwayne Haskins, and he drafted a quarterback. But then the next year they still kept him, and they benched him, and that destroyed him. Also, he came from Ohio State, where he had receivers that would get open, and he didn't believe that he would go to a Washington football team that has been disgraceful. The team was tanking. Remember how we are tanking, but we're the bad guys? The Giants, the Redskins, the Cowboys, the football team, whatever you want to call them, have been taken for how many years? Yeah, just to point that out. So Dwayne Haskins don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Also, when you're partying, you're not working, you give a bad example. People talk about the COVID. Nah, there was not COVID. That's not why he got cut. He got cut because he wasn't showing his worth ethic. And he took it as a joke. And NFL is National Football League. It stands for not for long. That's what it stands for. Not for long. It that means that you can be gone anytime. NFL is a privilege. You can always be cut. You're not always the best one. That's just being real. What's up from Minnesota? What's up, Prime Time? Tom Steven? I don't know who that is, but hopefully that's Stephen A. Smith. Because I don't like him. That can't beat a practice squad because that can't beat nobody, bro. If the team is not the Miami Dolphins, if the team is not a bum team, if the team is not the New York Giants, he can't beat them. He struggled against the Bills. He struggled against Green Bay, who we blew out. No, I think we beat. No, we did beat. We beat. And they blew the Dallas Cowboys out until they had to come back in the fourth quarter, where Dak gets all his stats from. Because the fourth quarter, Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott were coming back. But he couldn't rally his troop. But Cowboy fans don't want to hear about that. They're so excited for the quarterback, and that's fine Be excited. As a Cowboy fan, I'd be excited too. Not sure I wouldn't be. Because I don't want my team to be hyped up during Hard Knocks because they're garbage. And if you don't know what Hard Knocks is, they go through and they expose everything about your franchise. Something out, like people say the Eagles should not get a Hard Knock. No, the Eagles should be on Hard Knocks. I'm going to tell you why. Because I want to see what that franchise is. Why do you think the Browns became better? Because Hard Knocks exposed everything about the Browns. And they played terrible. And they showed everything. They showed the coach being a clown. They showed the GM not caring. And why John Dorsey got fired. And they showed everything. But it's also entertaining because they're going to see, we're going to see what Dallas is really like. And you're going to see Jerry Jones being a stooge. You're going to see a lot of players not taking anything seriously. Being real. Dak also lost to the Bears because Dak can't beat a team that is not a tanking team. The Bears had a good defense. And Dak Prescott had to be a leading quarterback to win the game. And he could not. He lost to Mitch Trubisky, who is trash. Just like he couldn't beat Jared Goff. Trash. Just like he couldn't beat the Bills. A good team. But I'm delusional, Cowboy fans. You remember? It's crazy, man. It's crazy how many people want to pick and choose what they want to hear. And they want to pick and choose what they see. And I'm not going to give you that. Listen, I'll give you the real stuff, man. And if you don't like it, don't watch. Just like I know when I had 100, I was going to make 100 subs yesterday and I started losing subscribers. Why is that? Because people saw who I really was. And they did not like the fact that I was real. They wanted to see me talk all these nice things. And when you expose something that they don't agree or it doesn't go against their terms, and they don't agree with you, they're going to unsubscribe from you, which is fine. I don't care. You could do what the hell you want. I'm not putting a gun to your head until you subscribe. Would I appreciate it? Yeah. But I don't need them. I do this because I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be fake. I don't want to be fake. And if I'm fake, then I'm only deserving myself on my channel. And a lot of Eagle fans hate me because, A, for one, I'll be real. When I was younger, I was an idiot. I was an idiot. I said stupid stuff. I didn't take it seriously. And I always wanted to be something I wasn't. But I'm going to tell you right now, what you see is what you see. You meet me outside, that's what you see. I don't give a fuck who you are. Also, I'm not kiddie friendly. And you two don't like that one. I really don't care. I'm not kiddie friendly. And I make that real clearly. And a lot of people who get 1K have to be kiddie friendly. They have to say no bad words. Oh, shucks, man. That was a great move by the GM, Howie Roseman. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show my emotions. I'm going to be real as I could be. And there's things that Eagle fans might not agree with me with, like the Ryan Kerrigan move. I'm not a fan of Ryan Kerrigan. I hope he produces on the field. I don't agree with a lot of Eagle fans. A lot of Eagle fans were upset about Ryan Kerrigan. I wasn't. And that's fine. I still have the video uploaded. I didn't delete it out. Because I stand where I stay on. Like, I stay on what I stand. And that is, I don't believe in Ryan Kerrigan was a great move. I hope he proves me wrong because he's an Eagle. And I wish nothing but the best. Listen, I don't wish anybody to be failed. Like I said, I hope Jalen Rager shows a better second year. Shout out to my boy Joby Shake, 72, man. Because I watch his videos, man, and listen, man. When he first started, he was like, the dude was funny. And he still is funny. He still is funny. But YouTube is trying to change him. You know, they're trying to take everything down. And YouTube could try that with me. I'll just make another channel. And I made it perfectly to YouTube. I wrote to them. I told them that. I've told you so many times. I also, on Twitter, you didn't see my Twitter, Eagles Champ 3. I destroyed the CEO on YouTube who owns the company. I had Messenger calling her effing bitch. I have no problem doing that. Because she is one. And when I looked up her picture, I know who she is now. She's a soccer mom. She is definitely a person who is sensitive everything. Probably why I don't get people on my channel that much. Because they'll expose the real. But they won't expose the ones who are fake. They don't like people like me. Because I'll go against the grain and I'll go against anybody. Was the youngest kid on YouTube in 2017 that went after every YouTuber. And yes, I took an ass whooping, no question about it. But one thing about me is I don't back down from nobody. You can have 1 million subscribers, you got 10,000 subscribers. If I disagree with you, I'm disagreeing with you. And if we have a problem, we have a problem. And I don't care who you are. A lot of Eagle fans hate that. They also hate the fact because they saw my old videos and they hold grudges. Which I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I was a young kid. I was, 17, 18? I'm 21. Gonna be 20. I'm gonna be 21 in July. This is my 5th channel. This is my 5th one right here. So yeah. A real GM knows football. They know the draft. Yeah, well, that's not Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman got lucky with Devontae Smith because the Cowboys needed Surtain and they got taken early. Because the Dallas Cowboys would have never traded that pick to us if the Dallas Cowboys got Surtain. The Giants would have taken Devontae immediately. And that's why Giant fans are upset. Because the Eagles and the Cowboys punked the Giants. They punked the Giants. They laughed at the Giants. And Giant fans know that. Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl as long as Jerry Jones. Maybe. Jones is alive. Some people think Cowboys will. They've been saying that since what? The 2000s and 2001, since Marion Barber was on that team. I mean, they've been saying that for so many years. They said Tony Romo was going to win a Super Bowl. Every time I'm in school, 2015, 16, 17, Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. 4 good games, and they thought they were Super Bowl champions. Nothing new. Listen, when you're locked out of the closet for how many years, you become brain dead. You lose grip of reality. Same with the Giant fans. When you've been in the basement and you're locked and you have nowhere to go, and you have to watch your team be trashed for many years, you become insane. And you start losing grip of reality. And the Cowboys and the Giants and the Washington football team, who got bounced out in the division, in the worst division. It's always been the worst division, but it was worse for them. Remember, ESPN said that they deserved that division. But when we won it, it was the worst division. See how that works? The Cowboys win a division, they are good. But when the Eagles win a division, it's just a trash division. Too bad it's always been trash. It hasn't been the same since what? 2004, 5, 6? Our division started being trash when, like, during the 2009, and it been trash since then. 2010, the Giants won a Super Bowl in a trash division. Too bad we swept the Giants that year. Deshaun Jackson had a punt return that year. They won in the wild card, and they got to a Super Bowl, and they won it. 2010, we were terrible. I think, who did we have? We had, was it Vince Young? Was it Vince Young? It was Vince Young and yeah, that was the dream team that year, right? 2010. Yeah, was it? It was Vince Young. Jeff Garcia was it 2006? No, 7. No, that was 8. 8. Jeff Garcia was 2008. 9 was, yeah, Vince McNabb was, by then McNabb was, I think, got traded during that 2011 year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Double check it. I won't be too sure. Yeah. So the division has been trashed for how many years? But they don't want to bring that up. See, Dan Orlovsky doesn't know football. Because if he knew football, he would have shut down Max Kellerman in a heartbeat. Because Max Kellerman, one thing about him is, if you argue facts against him, he takes shots with personality. He takes shots at you. He can't give you facts because he'll only go to his motions. If Dan Orlovsky switched up and said, so when the Cowboys won the division in 2018, was the division good? Was the Giants division good in 2010 when they won that Super Bowl? I believe the Giants that year were in the wild card. The Eagles were out of the playoffs. The Cowboys were trashed that year. The Redskins, the football team, was trashed that year. If Dana Orlovsky knew football and had the facts and knew about the NFC East, he would have destroyed Max Kellerman. I could destroy Max Kellerman in a second because Max Kellerman can't argue with facts. He has to go back to stats. And that's what a lot of Eagle fans always end up getting upset with me. Not a lot of Eagle fans, a lot of NFL so-called fans. Because I can argue facts. And if you can't argue facts and you can't prove it with actual facts, because anybody can say anything, but if you can't prove that what you said, there's no point in saying it. That's why every time on my videos, I upload a picture of what I'm talking about. Why is that? Because if you just make videos and you don't back it up with actual facts, then your videos are just for nothing. Max Kellerman can't argue unless it goes to his view or point. He can't look at two sides. It's black or white with him. There's not a middle. He only can see one side. He can't see two. Because if you told Max Kellerman in 2010 the Giants had a trash division and they won the Super Bowl, matter of fact, Tom Brady won the Super Bowls with the Jets, who were garbage. The Bills were trash. The Dolphins were trash. They won't talk about that one. They won't sit there and say the Patriots won the division or in the Super Bowls with that trash division. But they were trash. They played the Patriots. I mean, they played the Jets and the Bills and the Dolphins, who were tanking every year. And the second Tom Brady got competition, he bounced. But they won't talk about that. But the Eagles won the division in the trash division, but the division that Tom Brady was winning was trash. The Jets weren't that good. They were bottom feeders. The Bills were bad. and the Dolphins were terrible. Seattle won the Super Bowl in a trash division. The 49ers were literally, along with Seattle, were good. The Cardinals were trash. So were the Rams. When they were Legion of Boom, they were beating the division because the division was trash. But they won't talk about that. Same with the Steelers. The Browns were trash that year. So was whoever was in the division of the Ravens. Were probably like upcoming. Like they were starting to, Joe Flacco was starting to lose his ability. And they had to draft a quarterback who can't throw. But after that Super Bowl, the Ravens start falling apart. And the Steelers were beating them because they were in the trash division. Yet they won't talk about that one. I could keep on going. The Chiefs are winning in the division in the trash division. Patrick Mahomes is winning Super Bowls in his trash division. The Chargers are an upcoming team. The Broncos are trash. But how are the Eagles in the trash division? But every other team who wins Super Bowls either had a trash division or they're literally in the wild card. Makes sense with that one. But ESPN won't think of that. But don't think about that tomorrow. Trust me. Every division champion, every quarterback that won a Super Bowl, whether Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Nick Foles / Carson Wentz, Eli Manning, not once but twice, have all been winning because they were in a division that wasn't that good. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't know. I just know that Tom Brady has won Super Bowls with the Jets, who are garbage. They're on their sixth, I think they're what, their 20th quarterback. Big Ben won Super Bowls. The Browns are garbage. Now they're starting upcoming. And you saw why the Steelers are starting to lose now, right? Because when teams and divisions start getting better, it gets a lot harder. So miss me with the division has been only trash, and the Eagles just won the trash division because the division, the NFC East, has been trash since 2008, maybe even longer. Pro Football Focus is a bunch of Madden nerds who don't know football. That's where Max Kellerman gets his stats from. That's why everybody thinks he's a joke. Pro Football Focus. I don't even know. I mean, they have a YouTube channel, but it's like they shouldn't even be on YouTube. They're disgraceful. Their points are stupid. Pro Football Focus ranked Gardner Minshew, who the Jaguars didn't even think was a good competition to have after they drafted a rookie quarterback and Trevor Lawrence. Pro Football Focus put him above Jalen Hurts. The rookies that are coming out this year are above Jalen Hurts. Never played, but above Jalen Hurts. Pro Football Focus, the same ones who said the Dallas Cowboys were Super Bowl champions and that they were that they are the best team that year. How did they do? Pro Football Focus is the same one who said the Giants in 2017 are Super Bowl champions. And the Eagles are bottom feeders. That's Pro Football Focus for you. You want me to keep on going? Carson Wentz, Pro Football Focus was trash. Goes to Indianapolis now, top 50 quarterback on their list. What was different from this year than what was last year? I mean, what was different from this year? What? He changed teams? Pro Football Focus. Keep a name on. I call them Pathetic Football Focus. Because they don't know football. Or I call them Pathetic Football Fans. Because a bunch of fans who just write stupid stuff. That Super Bowl, no, that Super Bowl against the Falcons wasn't rigged. Matt Ryan's just garbage. Matt Ryan blew the game. Also, that coach blew the game. They should have just ran the football and they would have won that game. But Matt Ryan also threw a pick. He also got stripped. You're in the fourth quarter, and you literally all you had to do was run out the clock, and you decided to throw, and you gave Tom Brady back the ball. No, they lost because they made stupid decisions. Now the Patriots have been cheating, like the Seahawks game. They cheated. They were caught deflating footballs. That's why I can't stand Tom Brady. And part of that's not the only reason, because he's a sore loser and he's a crybaby. And everything revolves around him. The Buccaneers had everything around Tom Brady. I mean, put any other quarterback on that Buccaneers last year, they win Super Bowls. Buccaneers are literally perfect for Tom Brady. Why do you don't think he went to Dallas? Why do you think he went to Tampa Bay? Do you think because he wants to prove himself? No. Because he wants to go somewhere where he can easily win. Because he doesn't want to lead a team without doing the work. Because when Tom Brady started seeing that division become better, like the Jets, the Bills, upcoming teams, he decided to not be there anymore. And he goes to the Buccaneers, who are stacked. The Raiders offered him a deal. He didn't want to go there. Why is that? Because he wouldn't be able to handle the Raiders. They don't have everything around him. And he wouldn't be able to play tic-tac-toe and read a book, because that offensive line would have been bad for him. Because Tom Brady, the pretty boy that he is, the cheating, lying, irritating player who gets his behind kissed, and you know what sucked, who Patriot fans brag about Super Bowls in a trash division. But you bring that up, they call you a hater. Just like they call you when you bring up Lamar Jackson. They call you a hater because you're bringing up facts and they don't agree with their point of view. You're a hater. You're a casual. You're a ratio. See how that works? When you bring up Tom Brady, literally bounced to a good team. I mean, Drew Brees would have been legit in Tampa Bay. Any quarterback with the arm would have been better and would have done great like Tom Brady. But yet they won't talk about that one. Now, at the same time, you can't take away what Tom Brady has done. No, I can't. Fuck him. I'm still tired of hearing about that. Well, you can't take away what he won Super Bowls because he cheated all of them. Tom Brady cheated. They literally were busted. I can't respect cheaters. They say everybody cheated. That's not true. And when they cheat, they should be punished. They suspended Tom Brady for 6 games. He should have lost everything. He should have lost the Super Bowl trophy that year. Because I'm sorry, if you cheat, you don't deserve to celebrate. That other team should have got that Super Bowl trophy. That other team should have had that ring, not Tom Brady. Roger Goodell should have suspended him for at least the whole season. 6 games was not enough, especially when you're destroying evidence. Like your phone, when you know you got busted, and they paid someone to literally poke a hole through a football. That's against the rules. You should have lost your Super Bowl ring. You should have lost the Lombardi Trophy. And you shouldn't, even if you win the division, you should have been banned from making the playoffs. They should have suspended Tom Brady. They should have suspended Bill Belichick. I think Tom Brady just got a slap on the wrist, to be honest. Because if it was someone else who did that, that's not Tom Brady, oh, he would have been suspended for a year. Cheaters should not be praised. And Tom Brady cheated. You know what I'm saying? He cheated. He broke the rules. And I can't respect someone. I can't call someone a GOAT when you didn't play the right way. You had to poke a hole through a football because you couldn't win without cheating. And that's why I hate Tom Brady. Not only that, I hate the fact that he's a horrible teammate especially when he doesn't get his way. Now, the reason why he was good with the Buccaneers, everybody loves him because, for one, because they accommodated him. Tom Brady could pick and choose who he wants on his team. And when it didn't go his way, he threw a fit. Tom Brady would have been destroyed in Philly. If Tom Brady signed with the Eagles, number one, I'd be flipping out. Number two, everything would have exposed him. Everything. He would have got no leeway. He would have probably got booed in Philly. Not only that, Eagle fans don't like Tom Brady. If you're a real Eagle fan, you don't like Tom Brady because of what he is and the fact that he cheated during that year. That Super Bowl 39, Tom Brady was part of that team, and he cheated. They were caught recording the plays. And if you were Andy Reid, you should have been. If I was Andy Reid, I would have switched those plays up. Because if you're able to hear my plays, I would have switched them where they couldn't be able to hear, that they would have been so used to what they heard. I would have switched the whole game plan around. Tom Brady cheated during that Super Bowl 39. Don't sit there and say he didn't. He did. So that's why I have a problem with Tom Brady. Because he cheated and he got away with it. And Roger Goodell gets paid to cover up. Roger Goodell literally had been forced by teams and players and coaches to expose Tom Brady and the Patriots and the franchise. They literally had to take him. They literally had to force and threaten Roger Goodell to do something. Roger Goodell was covering up so many games of them literally cheating before it finally got to be a big issue. Somebody call me. Sorry, that was 600 Breezy. I always listen to that. I'm sorry. So, yeah. No, that's why I hate Tom Brady. He's a cheater. And the fact that the NFL would not see that, it's disgraceful. Because how can I respect you when you can't even follow the rules? Just like I don't respect the Saints because They broke the rules. And Eagle fans hate Tom Brady with a passion. If you're a real Eagle fan, you know what I'm talking about. I hate Tom Brady. I don't care if that dude wins so many Super Bowls. You're a cheater in my eyes. You were caught cheating. And that GM, that Roger Goodell should actually resign. Because it was shame for him for covering that up. Because they suspended so many other players for way more, less than what Tom Brady has done. You know what Tom Brady did would threw him in jail? That what he did was illegal. It would have got him arrested. Destroying evidence on a phone, that's against the law. But does he get held accountable? No, he gets a 6-game slap on the wrist. And they lose what? A 4th-round pick, draft pick. That wasn't even a punishment. That was a slap on the wrist. He should have been suspended for the whole year because he cost so many teams their games. And he lied when they said, "Did you do it?" Instead of being honest, he said he didn't. You did. So he's a liar and a cheater. The Patriot fans don't like that one. And a lot of people don't like that. That's why I hate Tom Brady. Mike McCarthy's not good. Mike McCarthy's such an overrated coach, bro. He's terrible. Mike McCarthy's horrible. I don't know why I'm getting people calling me, bro. Hold up. I don't know why they're doing this. Why do you call me in the middle of my strip? Every time, bro. Every time. Every time. I'm doing a lot of shit. Somebody has to call me. Stupid. Someone has to text me. So annoying, man. People say Cowboys will win the division. Cowboys are not winning the division this year. Listen, I'm telling you right now, the Cowboys are not winning the division this year. And if they'll do, they'll just get bounced out like they always do. They'll go one and done in the playoffs. Or they'll make the division round and then get bounced. They'll feel themselves. The team will feel themselves. And they'll realize they aren't that good. They'll be cocky. They'll be arrogant. Cowboy fans will be pumping their chest. And they'll get a harsh reality check. The Super Bowl gets, I wouldn't say it's rigged. You know what? Scratch that. The Falcons game could have been rigged. Not saying it wouldn't have been. But I hope not. But they still lost. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it could have been rigged. I don't know. Knowing Tom Brady? Probably. The dude has been known for being a cheater. And that's why I have a problem with him. That's why when everybody says he's the GOAT, I can't stand it. Because how are you a GOAT and you're cheating? And he's also a poor sportsmanship. He shows very much of a poor sportsmanship. He doesn't have respect. If he doesn't win, he won't shake your hand. The players have shaken his hand when he won a Super Bowl. I can't stand selfish and sports bad sportsmanships from anybody. I don't care who you are. Get there and shake their hand like a freaking respectful human being and a player. Tom Brady is always doing something that other players would get in trouble for. And I can't stand that. It feels like he gets special treatment every time. And he does. He gets special treatment from the NFL. Every time the NFL gives him special treatment. Cowgirls will go 5-12. Cowboys. I'm gonna say 5-12. They'll go. The Cowboys will be good. I'm telling you, if the Cowboys will probably be in second place behind the Eagles. I think Washington will fall because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Will start getting old, and they'll trade for Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson will play, but it will probably be during the just for nothing, just to spoil favorites, spoil teams from being a number one seed. That's what will happen. The Giants will be tanking. The Washington football team will be spoilers, and the Cowboys and Eagles will be fighting for the division. The Eagles will be number one. The Cowboys will be number two. And the Giants will be bottom feeders. The coach will be fired. Daniel Jones will be gone. Dave G will be fired. And the Giants fans will be miserable. And the Washington football team will watch Ryan Fitzpatrick fatigued, start losing his mobility, start losing his everything will start seeing Ryan Fitzpatrick get up in age. That's what will happen. And they'll trade for Deshaun Watson during the trade deadline. And by then, they'll be out of the playoffs. Deshaun Watson will give them excitement, but they're going to draft a cornerback because the secondary will be destroyed. That's what will happen. The Cowboys and the Eagles will be fighting for the division. The Giants will be redoing everything. They'll be tanking. They'll be training players. And the football team will be trading for Deshaun Watson and spoiling other teams from advancing. That's what will happen. And they'll have the number one overall pick next year. And you will hear not one person said that they're tanking and they're not here to play to win. Remember that one. Cowboys could have went for Deshaun. Cowboys are not going for Deshaun Watson. Would it be smart for them to go for Deshaun Watson? Yeah, because Deshaun Watson would make them instantly dangerous. But they have Dak Prescott. They just paid for Dak Prescott. Let them. But I think he'll go to Washington because Washington and Deshaun Watson are just a perfect match. Because Deshaun Watson would be number one. I think him and Terry McLaurin are really cool with each other. Okay. Number two, he would just be a perfect match. They'll sell jerseys definitely. And plus Deshaun Watson by the trade deadline will everything will clear up with his the rumors going around with his incidents, and Washington will pay maybe a second rounder and maybe a first because his value will go down. And they'll trade for Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson will show like, oh yeah, they made the right decision. He'll throw some touchdown passes. The Washington football team fans will get excited. And they'll end up, playing spoilers. And they'll spoil the Cowboys. And the Eagles will beat Washington. And Jalen Hurts will beat Deshaun Watson and will win the division. That's what I think will happen. That is my prediction. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. Yeah, man, like I said, I'm glad they have Dak Prescott. Let them think that he's a top 10 quarterback. Let them think they're going to this. I don't care. I don't care. I can't wait till Jalen Hurts proves that he's the better quarterback. Please like and subscribe if you rock with the channel. If you're not, cool, man. We were supposed to do a chat with Philly Foothills today. I'm sorry. I wish I could. He had family issues going around. He just texted me we'll do one tomorrow. So we'll do one tomorrow, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They're not going. Cowboys are not going 5-12. First of all, it's a 17 game. It's not 16 games anymore, so they can't go 5-12. Second of all, you more have a chance of the Giants going 5-12 than the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, Dallas Cowboys will start out hot, and the Eagles will be going at the right time, and they'll start adding wins together. I think the Eagles will have some growing pains because it's a new coaching staff. Obviously, Nick Sirianni is going to make some mistakes, but I think Nick Sirianni and his coach staff will have a great year. I think the division is going to be a little bit tough, I would say. I think the Giants will play hard, and then I think the Giants will start losing games. I think Daniel Jones will be yelled at by the Giant fans because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to sit there and say Daniel Jones is not the quarterback for the Giants. You watch. I've seen this so many times. Jalen Hurts will have a good year. Not an MVP year, a good year. I think the MVP will probably be Patrick Mahomes. And the rookie of the year will be Devontae Smith. No, I take that back. They won't give Devontae Smith the rookie year. They'll give it to Jamar Chase. And why do I say that? Because Joe Burrow will throw, Jamar Chase will probably go off. And I think Joe Burrow's offensive line is going to be bad. But I just think Jamar Chase is just going to, I don't know. He'll have that Justin Jefferson type year. I don't know why, but I think they'll just do the same thing they always do. Devontae Smith will have a great year. They won't give it to him because he's an Eagle. They'll play favoritism. So yeah. So that one, yeah, I'm excited, man. I really am. Like I said, I think Jalen Hurts will have a good year this year. The reason why he won't win MVP because they'll give it to Patrick Mahomes. Now, Jalen Hurts will have a really good season. I expect them to explode. But I believe that they'll play favoritism. Hell, they might give it to Tom Brady. Wouldn't it surprise me? So yeah. So that's what I think will happen. I think the first play we'll see is Jalen Hurts give it to Miles Sanders for a touchdown. First snap. But I'm excited for preseason. And I'm gonna explain why because we need preseason. Part of it why last year we weren't good is because preseason. You need those reps. I give Jalen Hurts a little bit of snaps, then I take him out. Give him a little bit of taste. And put like the starters, maybe starters out for a couple games, maybe like for a little bit, and just take them out, put the backups in. Because you don't want to play them to extent. That's how they get injured. And we need those type of players. Because heaven forbid, if Devontae Smith ends up getting hurt, you never know. I hope that doesn't happen. Please, I hope this doesn't really happen. Because they ain't going to say, you jinxed the season. You did this. So I said, I hope it don't happen. But yeah. The defensive year is Kwity Paye. No, they'll give the defensive year to, you know what? They'll give defensive year to Micah Parsons. Because he's the Dallas Cowboy. Come on, man. They'll do something stupid. They play favoritism. Don't you see that? Because the Eagles, Miles Sanders had a good year that in 2017, 2019? His rookie year was really good. And they literally gave it to, who was it? Nick Chubb? Who was it? Who did they give it that wasn't Miles Sanders? Who was that rookie of the year guy? Who was that player who they give it to? Who did they give it to? Who did they give it to? I know they give it to someone who didn't really deserve it. And it was so much because I know A.G. Brown tweeted like, "This is BS." And Miles Sanders even liked it. Miles Sanders should have won Rookie of the Year. He was the best rookie, especially what we had. He was putting out numbers. The dude was explosive in 2019. No, Dak is not a top 10 quarterback. No, he's not. And I agree with that one. Dak is not a top 10 quarterback. Maybe top 25, not top 10. And if Cowboy fans say, well, who do you think is better? Russell Wilson. It's so funny. They love saying that, well, we beat Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was literally the only one on the team that was throwing up numbers. And that year, didn't they lose to the Cardinals by a field goal? Oh, no, they beat them by a field goal. The Seahawks that year were trash. Their defense was terrible. And they didn't have a DK Metcalf. That year in 2019, when they keep on bragging about that year, they beat Seattle. Seattle was probably worse. Seattle was probably the worst team that they ever, like, Seattle fans literally said they had the worst team. An NFL expert even said they were worse. They were literally one of the worst teams since what? 1976? The last Seattle team that was worse than that? They were terrible. You know what I'm saying? They were terrible. 2019, they barely beat the Cardinals with Josh Rosen. So Cowboy fans pumping their chest. Another game where they won in garbage time. And their defense was stopping Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks defense were trash. Give me a break. Love how Cowboy fans pick and choose who they want to talk about. Tim Tebow's even the worst. He can't throw. Tim Tebow is not a quarterback. Tim Tebow is not a quarterback. Tim Tebow is Lamar Jackson. That will be Lamar Jackson if he can't throw. Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow can't throw. He can't design plays. He doesn't know how to be a quarterback. He can't throw for crap. He knows how to run. He can't stay in the pocket. Why do you think RG3 didn't succeed? It was because he was a quarter. It wasn't because of some of it was Washington, some of it was him. And some of it is because they transitioned his college, like they're doing in the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, to the NFL, and it blew in their face. And once Lamar Jackson gets hurt and he can't use his legs, he will be another RG3. Now, I don't wish injuries on him, but that will be his future. Lamar Jackson needs his legs. Because without his legs, he's RG3. He will be a backup. He will probably be cut. He will probably be a Tim Tebow, bouncing from teams and not being the same. So yeah, appreciate everyone who's coming. Listen, like I said, we're supposed to have Philly Foothills today. He didn't come. We're gonna do one tomorrow. I love talking football with y'all, even though a lot of people might disagree with me. That's fine. That's fine. I really should call this live stream the Ramble, like an hour of rambling by Eagles Chant 1. I think I'm going to call that one. Like I said, I think Jalen Hurts disrespected. I think these reporters need to stop disrespecting him. I was talking about earlier, but then I got a little off track. Jalen Hurts is a guy that I think a lot of people are going to eat their words. And I think a lot of people are criticizing Jalen Hurts because he has 6 games. And yes, did Jalen Hurts struggle? Yes. He was a rookie. Carson Wentz in his rookie year struggled. He was a rookie. Quarterbacks in the rookie year struggle. But it's up to his second year. Can he learn from mistakes? Can he progress? And I think he can. He has that ability. If Tua was drafted the day before Lamar Jackson was drafted. Tua was drafted before Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts would have been a first-round pick. Because the quarterbacks are coming out because Burrow, obviously no one thought he was going to be a first-round pick. And Tua, who was originally supposed to be a top first-round pick, got hurt. Hurt his hip, had surgery on it. And Herbert, who should have been out, that 2000 originally was supposed to be out before the 2000 what? 20 year? No, 2021. Yeah, 2020 year. He was supposed to be out in 2019, but stayed an extra year. Jalen Hurts would have been a first-round pick. But there was a lot of quarterbacks that were supposed to come out the year that they didn't. So they came out the following year. Just like Trevor Lawrence was supposed to come out last year, and he stayed an extra year. Same thing. Like, this is how it works. Jalen Hurts was a first-round pick quarterback. But people didn't look at that. Because he doesn't show his arm like all the other quarterbacks with Trevor Lawrence with the big arm. He doesn't have a swagger to him. He's cool under pressure. And plus he went to a team that paid a quarterback $63 million in bonus money. In the deal. And was literally in 2019 took a team to a practice squad and they drafted a quarterback the following year. Everybody thought the Patriots were going to get Jalen Hurts. That's why they don't believe in Jalen Hurts. Because when I went back and I watched what people were saying before the draft, Jalen Hurts was getting praised constantly. They were saying that the Raiders would have been a good fit for him. That he is a good quarterback. He is the number one talent to be a legit quarterback. But yet he went to the Eagles. Everything started switching. Just like Carson switching to Indianapolis. Everybody's talking about him. They're saying he's really good. The only one who's saying he's not is Max Kellerman, which I respect now. Because now Max Kellerman's not switching up. Now I still think he's a clown. I still think he don't know football. But he hold his ground. Everybody else switched up. Everybody else switched up. When he went to Indianapolis. Now they think he's a good quarterback. When he was with the Eagles, all I heard was he was trash. If Jalen Hurts was on another team, like I said, he would have been praised everywhere on the media. If Dak went to the Eagles, there'd be no discussion with Dak Prescott on the Eagles. Because he's a Dallas Cowboy. And he's popular. And they're called America's team, even though they haven't been America's team since the 90s. He gets so much media hype. Because they look good on paper. Paper champs, I keep on telling y'all. Remember the Cowboys with CeeDee Lamb? They were going to the Super Bowl. All I heard was Dallas Cowboys are going to win that championship game. And they think Dak Prescott, it was going to matter. No, it wouldn't have been. You were saying you were going to be really good. It wouldn't matter if you had Dak. It don't matter if you had Andy Dalton. It didn't even matter if you drafted another quarterback. Because the Dallas Cowboys are paper champs. They're paper champs. And the media always overhypes them. They don't learn from the mistakes. the Cowboys always going to be the favorites. Why is that? Because Jerry Jones is a rich guy. And because they pay, Jerry Jones pays them to talk about them, to keep them irrelevant. Most of them are just delusional idiots who don't know football and just goes with the popular thing. Or says Daniel Jones is going to be good. What did you see from Daniel Jones? Like, what did you see from Daniel Jones that makes you think he's going to be great? What did you see from Daniel Jones that makes you think he's going to be really good? I just want to know. The dude fumbled literally by himself. No one was around him. He tripped. He became a meme. The dude saw a ghost. He heard footsteps. And he tripped on his own feet. He's a meme for tripping on his own feet. And not in a positive way. He's looked as a fool. His teammates were laughing at him because of disappointed that that's their quarterback. How did the Giants improve? See, a lot of people said the Giants improved, but they really didn't. Now, I'll give you this one. A lot of people won't give you this one. Kenny Galladay is a good receiver. I wanted the Eagles to sign him. But what they signed him was not worth it. Not one bit. Okay, maybe a 2-year deal. They signed him to a 4-year deal. So that means if he plays bad, they're stuck with him. They signed Adoree Jackson, who was literally cut. And they drafted Christian Fulton. I wanted him because Adoree Jackson wasn't doing so good. And the Giants picked him up. A lot of Eagle fans wanted him. I didn't want him. He's a bum. He has one highlights, and that is his rookie year. And it's only like a 0.58 seconds because it's nothing else. The Giants picked up John Ross, a definition Joey Galloway 2.0. The guy can win with speed, but he can't. That's the only thing he has is speed. He was the number one pick because they overhyped his combine. Not the fact that he could run routes. Not the fact that he can catch the football, because he ran the fastest combine. And he was related, and he was cool with Snoop Dogg, a celebrity. Why teams picked him? And the Bengals picked him, and he stunk. And now he's going to a Giants team where he will be on special teams. He might even make the roster. They drafted Kadarius Toney, who is what John Ross is. Because Devontae Smith was their target. And Giant fans say it wasn't their target. That's why they're crying. Because they know Devontae is going to be good with the Eagles. They know it. Listen, they'd be praising Devontae Smith if he was on the Giants. The whole media would be praising him. Like, think about it. Look at what happened when the Dallas Cowboys drafted C.D. Lamb. You didn't hear anything about Jalen Reagor. You heard about a lot about C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb. Nothing about Justin Jefferson. Just C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb. That's all you heard. All you heard was the Dallas Cowboys got CD Lamb. The Dallas Cowboys just got better. The Dallas Cowboys are going to go to the Super Bowl. People bet money that the Cowboys would win a Super Bowl because CD Lamb, a receiver that Jalen Hurts made him the number one pick. Now, he was going to be number one pick, but not as far, not as what he was with Jalen Hurts. Obviously, he had Baker Mayfield, and he was good. But he dropped for a reason. Part of it was because Alabama receivers were coming in that draft. Jerry Jeudy. Fortunately, goes to a trash team like the Denver Broncos. Henry Ruggs goes to the Raiders. Reason why Derek Carr was so good last year. A lot of people say Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar was getting open because of Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs was making everybody better because they were worried about them torching him. Worried about because in Alabama he was, along with Devontae Smith, was torching cornerbacks like they were nothing. And NFL cornerbacks had to respect the speed and had to respect that he could go deep. If they go deep and Henry Ruggs is able to catch it, he's off to the races. CD Lamb ain't going to explode with 99 miles per hour speed. He's just not going to give you he's just not going to blow through coverages and go downfield. He's a 50-50 receiver who can catch the balls. And if you don't catch him, he'll absolutely, he's fast, but he's not going to blow you away with speed. But that's all I heard was the Cowboys and CD Lamb. Now, if Devontae Smith was on the Giants, you would hear Devontae Smith, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. This is a scary team. But you don't hear that with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, two players that played in college 1 year but still had chemistry. If Dak Prescott got Devontae Smith, they'd hype him up. But it's the Eagles, remember? Remember, it's the Eagles. They hate us. They hate us. They hate us. They hate us. Everything where Devontae Smith goes, if it's not in Philly, he would have been talked about, especially in a division. If the Giants got him, he would have been talked about. Definitely been talked about. Every time he catches the ball in practice, they would have hyped him up. Devontae Smith makes a one-hand catch with Daniel Jones. It'd be everywhere on the NFL Network. The old Giant fans be talking about how we're really going to shock a lot of people. But now he's with the Eagles. He's trash. He's too small. But they wouldn't be worried about his size if he was with the Giants. If he was with the Cowboys or the Redskins or watch football team. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say. The disrespect to Jalen Hurts. These reporters, they talk so much crap about him. Get your popcorn ready. That's all I'm going to say. Because Devontae and Jalen Hurts will be a dangerous combo. Might even be more of a dangerous combo than Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you, this Eagles team is very underrated going into the season. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of players are going to show So much improvement. And the one guy that I hope is going to improve in the second year is the talking, who needs to show up, safety, Kayvon Wallace. And I know he has a YouTube channel. Show it on the field. Because I'm going to be real. I hate when people compare him to Brian Dawkins. Don't disrespect Brian Dawkins like that. Because Brian Dawkins showed it on the field. You didn't hear him talk. Only on the field. He was a humble dude. He didn't post it on Twitter every time he hit someone. He didn't post every time someone said something. This dude, man, is always on Twitter. Talking about, oh, they disrespect me. Well, because you didn't do anything. Now, that wasn't his fault. That was Jim Schwartz, too. But part of it was him. But part of it was Jim Schwartz and his favoritism. Nathan Gary, a guy who stunk as a linebacker. Jalen Mills, who was garbage at safety and corner. When I hear people say that Jacoby Stevens is going to be Jalen Mills, I'm like, you better hope he's not. Because if we have another Jalen Mills, and not a good Jalen Mills, that Mills that we saw last year and the day before last year, the whole career of him, we're in trouble. I don't want Jacoby Stevens to be like Jalen Mills. I hope he's way better than him. Jalen Mills is not a guy that you want to look up to. Not especially the way he's been playing. And I don't know why the NFL media asked Jacoby Stevens, what do you think about Jalen Mills? Who cares? He stinks. Jalen Mills is nothing to be proud of. He stinks. He showboats while he misses tackles. Take that to New England. Because the first time you do that, you will be benched. Bill does not play like that. And that's a message to Kayvon Wallace, too. If you don't show it, fans are not going to put up with it, especially us. We are very impatient with taking your time. We want our players to show it and embrace and actually go improve it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say. Got a lot to say, but I'm going to keep it for the next time. Like I said, I was supposed to have Philly Foothills. One person's watching. Appreciate that. Also, the people who are watching, who subscribed, who supported me, thank you. And Flag was fight. And I know I ramble a lot. Appreciate it. I should call it the Eagles Champ 1. Ramble for an hour and 24/7 last year. That's what I'm going to call it from now on, because I pretty much just rambled. I'm out. Go Birds, and Flag was fly.